There's no way that's true. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
We are back.
You thought you could escape. You thought you were having a good summer and you're enjoying yourself. And you were like, those dudes finally stopped talking about the 76ers, man. They finally stopped. And now I don't have to think about it. But the 76ers are just a couple weeks away from training camp. And we are here. We are back. RunItBackPhilly and NZ for 3. What is going on, my guy? Have you been enjoying? I mean, you've been posting YouTube videos about the Sixers, but there hasn't been a whole lot to talk about.
I've been trying to. Yeah. I mean, my most recent one was about the Kawhi situation, how that benefits the Sixers. I'm sure we're gonna get into that. But yeah, man, I've been trying to find things to talk about with this team. You know, got the Eagles 1-0. You really had a pretty dull off season. You know, we've been waiting for Quentin Grimes to get re-signed. He's not back yet. I mean, Cam Thomas recently got his qualifying offer signed, so I thought that maybe that could start some momentum for the rest of the restricted free agents. But here we are again, man. Sixers sickos talking about this team when it seems that it's just completely submerged in darkness. Yet I feel some type of optimism. I know Phil Evans said that he was excited. And I'm not excited when it comes to the Sixers being a contender for a championship team. And then he commented saying that he was excited because of the young guys. And that is why I am optimistic about the Sixers, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun watching Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe share the floor together. And yeah, Joel Embiid, Paul George, I'm just kind of done with them at this point, man. I got to be 100% honest. I'm sorry to start this off in such a negative way, but we got to keep it 100, man.
That's what we do. We keep it 100, man. And I feel like real Philly fans feel the same way, man. Everything that I hear from Philly fans, it feels the same way. Yeah, it feels like we're not Twitter, not Twitter or Reddit,
not there,
or Threads app or whatever else. No, real life Sixers fans. I feel like for the most part feel the same way that we do. It feels like a transition period. It feels like the 76ers are not accepting yet their fate, which is it's time to move forward into a new generation of players. Yeah, I feel like everybody kind of there's people that are optimistic, but you know, I feel like they are just lying to themselves. But that's about the contention. But I think you're right. At least we do have something fun to look forward to, you know, as far as young players, VJ Edgecombe and everybody. This show is brought to you by Game Time Ticket app. We're going to get into everything Sixers related. We're going to talk about if there's any Quentin Grimes update or what we expect with Quentin Grimes. We're going to talk about our overall expectations for the team this season. Paul George did say on a random Twitch stream that they are healthy. I don't know if that counts as an actual report or not. But we're going to talk about everything. But first, this is brought to you by Game Time Ticket app. And NBA season is almost back. NFL season is back. And the best app to use to get in the building is simply Game Time Ticket app. With my promo code CLNS, you can get $20 off of your first purchase. The best things about Game Time is there's no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you get. All the fees are included. So you don't see a price for a ticket, then check out, and then boom, 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 boom. You get some kind of all these fees added up, and the price is double what you thought it was. Also, they have a thing called Zone Deals where Game Time picks your seat for you. Basically, if you want the cheapest ticket in the house, Bam, they're going to give you that. You want the best overall deal, best view with the best price. Boom, they're going to give you that. You want the best seat in the house completely. They're going to give you that. They do all the work for you. It's so easy getting tickets from Game Time. Take the stress out of grabbing tickets. Download the Game Time ticket app today or go to gametime.co. Use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Last year's Sixers tickets got down as low as $1. I never asked Game Time if you get a return on that $20 off when you're buying a $1 ticket. But use code CLNS for $20 off. Game Time ticket app. Yeah. First order of business, I guess, man. Quentin Grimes has until October 1st to sign a deal. I'm sure the 76ers have offered him a multi-year deal that, they only have a mid-level exception amount this season, right around like $14 million. It's been rumored plenty of times that his camp thinks that he's worth $20 million a year, $25 million a year. So he could, the Jake Fisher thing a month ago basically said there's chatter about him signing the 1-year qualifying offer, which would then make him an unrestricted free agent next season. Also, I didn't know that also automatically gives him a no trade clause. I had been saying that the 76ers should sign him to the 1-year deal and trade him at the deadline. You can't even do that because if he signs the 1-year deal, there's a no trade clause. And then, Cam Thomas, first of all, same situation as Quentin Grimes, really, with the contract situation last year of his deal, restricted free agent. Quentin Grimes' camp feels like he's worth 25. Cam Thomas thinks he's worth 40, and he compared himself to, the Jalen Green contract and some other contracts, Miami Heat, Tyler Hero contract. Yeah. And then he goes and signs a 1-year qualifying offer, which is what I thought Quentin Grimes is going to end up doing. Not because it's the right thing for him to do, not because it's the best thing for him to do, because of how high he is on himself. That's just what I think. I think he's going to do that, whether we think it makes sense or not. I think that's what he's going to do. And he has until October 1st to do that. But if he does that, can't trade him. So where do the 76ers go with the Quentin Grimes thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Quentin Grimes in the first place, he really had no leverage to begin with, just like all of these other restricted free agents like Josh Giddey, Cam Thomas. They were battling so hard to get these deals, but these teams weren't budging. They didn't have to budge because they can bring them back no matter what. And all these other teams, they did not want to bite and try and sign them to a contract and waste all that time when the Sixers or the Bulls or the Nets can just bring them right back. And yeah, that no trade clause, it definitely throws another element into this mix for Quentin Grimes and the situation he is trying to, capture with him getting a big deal, given that he did have a great season with the 76ers in the half that he got. Everyone was saying that he was, stat padding and just shot chucking. You're like, yeah, he was doing that. He was the focal point of the offense, but he was putting up great numbers on good efficiency and doing some, great, having some great games against some great defenses like the Houston Rockets, where he almost single-handedly ruined the Sixers tank in a couple games with how good he was playing. And yeah, Quentin Grimes with his fit on the 76ers, like the money, that's one thing. I think that's something I think that's something we could worry about for the future, since that's something the organization has to do, man. I think he's going to be brought back eventually. It's most likely probably going to be on that qualifying offer. It makes sense given sort of how front loaded the Sixers are when it comes to the guards that they have: Edgecombe, Maxey, Jared McCain, of course, like forwards as well. If you want to slot Quentin Grimes as your small forward at times, you got like Justin Edwards, still Paul George is still here, and so Kelly Oubre. So I mean, yeah, Quentin Grimes, I think he's a good fit on the Sixers team when you consider he is a defensive minded, 3-level shot creator that could play next to Tyrese Maxey. However, you still have a future with McCain and Edgecombe. You got to consider, hey, should we get a player who's maybe of Quentin Grimes of skill set with his youth, but also someone who kind of fits more of a positional need? And he doesn't really have any leverage in this situation. You might as well just get that qualifying offer. Maybe he does want to stay in Philly and just take maybe like that $72 million deal over 4 years and contend with the 76ers. And then maybe a season after, if he really breaks out, then he can get traded to another team and they will probably give him like a good extension or something. yeah, for Quentin Grimes, there's not really much room for him to maneuver, and I think he will be brought back eventually.
Yeah, well, is there room for the 76ers to maneuver? You know what I mean? Do you think the Sixers have the upper hand in this situation? Because the no trade clause on a qualifying offer is what worries me, because I think they should trade him. You know, if he doesn't want to be in Philly, if he doesn't want to sign long term, I think they should trade him and get something in return for him, because they traded a first round pick for him, did they not? Or what? Or no, that was just
that was Jared Butler, right?
No,
it was like
Caleb
a swap
Martin
or something.
It was Caleb.
Yeah, they trade Caleb Martin, to the Mavericks for Quentin Grimes. And I mean, like, the CBA is the CBA. I mean, if he has to sign the qualifying, if he wants to sign the qualifying, it kind of depends on what his camp wants. If he wants to go right into restricted free agency, he can do that. Maybe the Sixers will be fine with that, because then they get some more time off, money off the books, given that they are already financially strapped. Maybe if they want to go towards a more of a positional need, they could do that. So it just sort of depends on the conversations between the Sixers front office and Quentin Grimes' camp. I mean, I think he was great last season. I think he's a good pairing next to Tyrese Maxey, but is he necessarily a piece for the future when the Sixers, they continue to struggle with finding forwards, power forwards, small forwards, big men for the future? You need to get those positions as well. You have your guard lineups set up, and maybe if the Sixers want to go with Maxey, McCain, Grimes, and VJ Edgecombe, I think there's a future they could do that, but they got to spend their money well, and the Sixers, historically speaking, are not very good at doing that.
Well, you can't really start all of those guys, right? And if we're expecting Jared McCain to be as good as I think he can be, and if we're expecting VJ Edgecombe to be as good as we think he can be, and Tyrese Maxey's an all-star level player, and then say Quentin Grimes signs for 4 years, next year or two, you end up with 4 guys that potentially should be starting caliber NBA players. You can't start all 4 of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you can't. But however, Sixers fans have always been complaining about not having enough juice on your bench. And we have seen in the NBA how valuable solid guards are. I mean, the Indiana Pacers, the OKC Thunder, they have elite guard rotations. And the fact that you can bring a Jared McCain off of the bench, a guy who is a fantastic shooter and has shown so much more as a 3-level scorer. I mean, he was great going to the basket, some good, decent mid-range game. Jared McCain, he has it. And I don't think it's very taboo to say that he can start his first couple of years in the NBA off the bench. I mean, he's a humble guy. He just loves to hoop, and he won't have a problem with that. He's young, and Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey, there are some concerns. Of course, we definitely need to see it more, but there is, those defensive concerns with them as a backcourt pairing. But to have Jared McCain coming off the bench, he could sort of play like, the role Manu Ginobili was. He was still starting, he was still playing with the Spurs at the end of games, but they always brought him in like 7 minutes left in the quarter, giving him rest, but he was always running with, the top starters. And if he could start as a great bench player or a 6th man, the Sixers, they could finally help address a need they have had for so long, and that is a lack of bench depth.
Yeah, well, that is true. Every single year we talk about the bench every single year. So we probably talked about it on the last stream, but so we're saying Grimes signs and we start Maxey and Grimes, because I think that's a good starting pairing, because Grimes is a little bit bigger, is a good defender. A lot of times we talk about the fact that, like, the future, can you start Maxey and McCain together with their lack of size and defensive liabilities? So that makes sense. And then VJ Edgecombe and Jared McCain off the bench. Yeah, you're right. There's a good deep guard rotation, or are you saying VJ Edgecombe eventually in the starting lineup? But either way, McCain and VJ off the bench is a good guard rotation
for sure. I mean, I think. Yeah, I mean, the future is Maxey, VJ, and McCain. However, I don't know if having that 3 guard pairing that will work for like the long-term future. I mean, we don't know yet. I don't want to give any, predictions, hot takes right now, because I want to see them play first. But, I think historically, I don't think, a guard rotation is elite, but, it's usually like, a great backcourt pairing, and having 3 small guard. I won't consider VJ Edgecombe, undersized, but you would definitely like some more size, because I don't think, like, would it be like Maxey as the point guard, McCain shooting guard, then VJ as your small forward? I don't really know how sustainable that will be. Or maybe if McCain of course, we don't know how good McCain is. It kind of depends on how he develops. But the Sixers, at least they have valuable assets, Eastwood. That's what we have been talking about for years with the Sixers and them piling up on terrible assets like Joel Embiid's contract extension. He can't be traded. Paul George can't be traded. Bringing Al Horford in and Josh Richardson and stuff. Just terrible decisions and wasting all those draft picks. And this, if Daryl Morey, very controversial right now. But if there's one thing he did really well, I think it is, get off that James Harden deal and get those 2 picks from the Clippers. So you do have ammo. You also have Justin Edwards, a Dem Boner. So the Sixers, they're getting lined up for, some pretty fun basketball. I don't know if they're going to win much, but, they have room to do a full reset. And it's really, I think, compared to other teams in the league, like the Phoenix Suns, just flat out atrocious situation for them. They got Mile Watch for sure, but I don't think they own their next draft pick until 2031.
2031, yeah.
And that they're trying to have Jalen Green and Devin Booker as to pair them, and it's not going to work. And I think the Sixers, they have a little bit, there's a little bit more hope for them in the future. They just really have some huge obstacles that they got to get through right now.
Well, I just made a video on the salary cap situations, and the 76ers were it was a Bleacher Report article, and the 76ers were ranked last in the NBA. They were ranked the worst salary cap situation in the NBA. So
I reacted to it. I made a video about it too, and I said, it made sense why the Sixers would be, but like in general, I said the Phoenix Suns are the worst situation because they got no draft picks.
Yeah. Right. They it's wild. The Suns were in the championship. They were in the NBA Finals like 3 years ago.
I know, right? I mean, it kind of got me thinking, man, like them trying to play Devin Booker as their point guard, it's not going to work. Devin Booker, he is a really smart player. He's a great ball handler, good passer, but he's definitely not a point guard. Just in the same way Tyrese Maxey is not a point guard. And there's been a lot of, discussion in the NBA about what the value of a true point guard is nowadays. And I think, the fact that we have such great, tall, big guards like it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just a flat-out anomaly scoring machine, I think is kind of blurring the line between some of these other guards in the league. Like, I think Tyrese Maxey, he's a lot closer to Devin Booker than he is SGA. I mean, SGA, he's just something else. And I think in the NBA, you need someone who can distribute can distribute passes in the offense and maximize other player skill sets and make them better. I don't know. Jerry McCain, you mentioned a lot that you have seen that potential in him. I would personally like to see more of a sample size, and I hope he does get more run as a point guard, because what do the Sixers have to lose, man? They have this young core. They need to see how it works immediately so they can make changes as needed. But I still think going into the future, you definitely have you have a good start, but it's all about, managing it well. And if Sixers fans think Daryl Morey has the confidence to do that, or not, like the ability to do that, I think you can go have like a 3-hour stream about whether he's capable of doing that.
Yeah, my guy Za, what up, Za? He says, "What if McCain is too good to bring off the bench?" Yeah, I still think that no matter what, him being a second-year player just coming off of a meniscus tear.
Yep.
Even if Jared McCain looks like an absolute scoring machine, like he looked like in those couple of games before he got injured, he's still so young that you would just bring him off you could just bring him off the bench anyway. I mean, you don't have to start Jared McCain. You know what I mean? I also, we can't forget about the fact that Nick Nurse is the coach, and I think that he reminds me so much of Doc Rivers, dude. I've said it 1,000 times.
Doc Rivers 2.0.
But he reminds me so much of Doc Rivers, where like a lot of times I think us fans and content creators and everybody, we're in this world of opinion that we think is the general opinion, that we think makes sense. And we don't realize it until we see it. But a lot of times, Doc Rivers style coaches like Nick Nurse or Tom Thibodeau and some others, they're very stubborn, number one, and they're not reading Twitter or listening to podcasts or anything like that. So it's the chances of them having the same opinion about players as us is very slim. And we're always shocked because we have opinions. We think we know what makes sense. We think we know what rotations make sense. We think we know what players should be playing and what players shouldn't be playing. And then we see the coach do the exact opposite. And we're like, what the hell is he doing? This guy's an idiot. Ah! And we're so shocked. But it's because this guy is not on the same page as us. He's not even, he's not listening to or talking to the same people we talk to. It's totally different perspective. And so I think we think Justin Edwards should have a lot of small forward minutes. I think you're going to see a lot more Kelly Oubre than you are Justin Edwards. I think you're going to see a lot more Andre Drummond than you should ever see. I think you're going to see a lot more Andre Drummond than you should ever see. It's just a fact. He's on a $5 million contract, and Nick Nurse loves veterans. And he's never been there hasn't been like some kind of press conference yet where Nick Nurse is like, yeah, you know what? I shouldn't be playing the old guys. I should play the young guys. He's never said it. We said it. He hasn't said it. So I have no reason to expect Nick Nurse to go into the season and play a bunch of young guy lineups and be playing a Dembona and Justin Edwards and VJ Edgecombe and all these guys in these lineups. I think you're going to see Kyle Lowry. I think you're going to see Eric Gordon. I think you're going to see Andre Drummond, and they're going to get ran off the floor, and Nick Nurse is going to be doing the same thing he was doing last year, which is standing on the sideline, confused as shit. Like, oh my God, how is this not working? Right. What is going on? And we're all like, what? I have no reason to think that Nick Nurse isn't going to do the same thing he did last year and probably get fired in the first 2 weeks, to be honest with you.
I don't think, I mean, maybe I'm being too optimistic when it comes to Nick Nurse, but I don't think Josh Harris is going to accept that. I mean, he knows what happened last season, how disinterested the fan base was. If he sees Nick Nurse be playing Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon over a great young player that they drafted last year in Jared McCain and their fancy 3rd overall pick who could jump out of the gym and really make some amazing highlight reels, Nick Nurse, he's done if he does that, man. I don't think the Sixers, they have nothing to lose. They're probably going to fire him if he prioritizes those 3. I mean, Kyle Lowry, Gordon, and Drummond. I think Drummond is the most likely one to be getting playing time, given that, there's the excuse that he, was injured with his toe or whatever. But, he's getting up there in age, man. I don't know why they get so surprised when
let's do that. No, go ahead.
Guys get injured.
And then no, go ahead, finish, and then I got something. Go ahead.
Right. No, I mean, with Andre Drummond, like he was a decent backup center when we got him like 2 years ago. He was putting up some great numbers, but last season, bro, he was so bad protecting the paint, and I have never seen a player at his size miss so many wide open layups. You just can't have that, especially when you have a Dembona who's young, who could be, a good pick and roll big man, who could defend the paint, who could jump over a credit card. He can do things. And Andre Drummond, maybe he recovers, maybe he has a decent season. I mean, he was decent in Chicago, but Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, we got to stop with them, man. I better not see those two be playing substantial minutes in a 76ers uniform next season.
Was Andre Drummond decent in Chicago? Because I remember we were talking about, we need Andre Drummond. We're like, he's rotting away in Chicago. He's coming off the bench. He's playing 10 minutes a game. We couldn't figure out why. And then we see him play the next season for the 76ers. We're like, oh, this is why Chicago wasn't putting him on the floor. He can't guard anybody. He can rack up rebounding numbers. That's kind of all he's ever done, really, is rack up rebounding numbers. But he used to be at least a much better defender. Now it's like he can't move laterally. He can't move side to side. Guys just blow right by him, and it's just a layup line. And last year, the combination of Yabusele, who's not a center and shouldn't have been trying to protect the rim, and Andre Drummond, it was not good. But let's do this. Let's make a prediction. Who will be, everything aside, not everything aside, everything taken into account, your prediction for the health of Joel Embiid, your prediction for what Nick Nurse will do, all of these things. Who will be the starting center game 1 season?
Game 1. So opening night, or are we away, or I don't know, but I think we're at Boston that game. Starting center, Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond. I think, we have, Nick Nurse, he has the excuse that Drummond, he was dealing with injuries last year. I mean, he's not as old as Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon. So, I mean, there's that they can throw out, and, he's an experienced veteran or whatever, and you could have Bona come off the bench because, hey, he's still young and whatever. But, I think it's going to be Andre Drummond. I think, when did they give us the official Joel Embiid update? Did they actually do that? Or because after surgery, they said they give us an update in 6 weeks. It's been a lot more than that. or yeah, I think like 3 weeks or something. I have no clue. It's been so long, but they haven't really given us any information about Joel Embiid. Surprise, surprise, because that situation, I just think it's so far gone. Yeah, maybe it was by the same doctor who helped Kawhi Leonard, but it's Joel Embiid, man. He's so much taller, like he's so much heavier. It's just not the same thing.
There has been no update. The only time we heard anything about Joel Embiid was in a 4-hour long ESPN article, him listing off everything terrible that happened throughout the process to get everyone to feel bad for him so that he can justify collecting $50 million a year until 2029 without playing basketball. Yeah, game 1, starting center. It should be a Dembona, and we're watching. We just saw highlights of a Dembona playing for France in Eurobasket. Was it
Turkey?
Yeah, how did he end up I didn't look up. How did he end up playing for Turkey? Because he's
I just saw the highlights that he was playing for Turkey, and he was looking great, like just blocking shots from the other side, weak side, and really showing some great bounce. And I think in the time that he did get last season, he was raw for sure. I mean, fouling like crazy. Yeah. I mean, if we thought Paul Reed was bad at fouling, I mean, Dembona, he definitely has that issue that he needs to address. But I think his size, his athleticism, I think it's so much more than Paul Reed's. I think you have way more upside with a Dembona than you do Paul Reed.
Yeah. Yeah. A Dembona, if Joel Embiid isn't ready game 1, which I don't see any reason for anyone to expect Joel Embiid to be ready for game 1. And again, at least we're going into this season with that expectation. Last year, we just thought we were healthy. And then we were like, wait a minute, where's Joel Embiid? At least we know that now. So we're not completely caught off guard that Joel Embiid is ramping up for the foreseeable future. It should be a Dembona. It should, because 2 reasons. Number 1, without Joel Embiid, you're not winning a championship. Everybody knows that. With this roster currently constructed, you're not a championship contender if Joel Embiid's not healthy and back to close to his MVP form. You're not winning. So going into a season and Joel Embiid not playing game 1, your interest should be getting players developed still and letting a Dembona work out the kinks and letting a Dembona get the playing time. You can't stop fouling if you just get thrown into the game for 6 minutes here and there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that should be the strategy going into game 1 if Joel Embiid's not there. Let a Dembona play, let him figure it out. But it's not going to happen because Nick Nurse, and they play politics too. Let's call it what it is. They build relationships with guys. They like Andre Drummond, and I've heard him speak before. He's like eloquent. He's like soft spoken. He's a nice guy. So there's that. Like they just like
when you went after him on X.
He responded.
Crying emoji, man.
Yeah, dude. For those who don't know, I tweeted Andre Drummond, and I said something like, hey man, it was what did I say? I was like, it was nice having you, but you're washed. You know what I mean? And he responded like, damn, that's harsh, with like a crying emoji, and was like, I was injured. I'm going to prove y'all wrong next season. And I was like, why was he so nice? Now I feel like an asshole. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think they like him. And I think Kelly Oubre is the same way. He's a likable guy. And they just, I feel like they can't make this is the guy we should be playing. They're always going to kind of, give the minutes to the veteran that's been around that they like as a person, I feel like. And so it's going to be Andre Drummond, game 1. So prepare, Sixers fans.
Drummond.
Game 1.
I also think Kelly Oubre is going to be the starting power forward. Or if that's assuming if Paul George is starting game 1, which I don't think so.
Well, let's talk about that.
Paul George starting game 1.
On the Paul George was randomly on what's the dude's name? I Show Speed,
right?
Twitch stream in the latest episode of Paul George. How can I get Philly fans to hate me more? Episode 5. He was like, I know what I'll do. I'll randomly show up on a Twitch stream and just act like everything is all good. And he said, "We healthy." That's all he said. It wasn't a real conversation. Speed was just saying how's it going? How's the team look or something like that. And he was like, we good, we healthy. Do we believe that?
I'll believe it when I see it. That's what I've learned about being a Sixers fan. Believe it when I see it.
PG is fine, Phil Evans said. Whoa, pause, man. Listen, I got you good with that one. If Paul George is healthy, he's still a really good 3-and-D player. You know what I mean? He's a good perimeter defender. He was the highest. He was a 45% catch and shoot 3-point shooter 2 years ago in LA. He played 74 games. Right when he put on a 76ers jersey, he broke his knee in half 4 different times and sat out basically the whole season. If he's healthy, he's still, he's not a superstar. He's not even an all-star level anymore, probably, but he's a really good 3-and-D player. And the only reason we signed him was to be better than Tobias Harris, because we had just lost the year before in the first round against the Knicks, and Tobias Harris put up a goose egg. And Paul George isn't going to lead a team anywhere at this point, but he's going to give you more than 0 points in a playoff game, I would think, and good defense. So that's why they signed him. And if he's healthy, he's at least still giving you that. And I do expect Paul George to be playing game 1.
Okay, I mean, I hope he plays game 1. I mean, as much as we bash the Sixers, they are lined up to contend for a championship, and the Eastern Conference is weak. If they can somehow figure it out with Embiid and Paul George, I mean, I'd be so happy if they could find a way to contend in the Eastern Conference. Regarding Paul George, he is purely a jump shooter now. Eastwood, if you remember last season, when he was going to the rim, he was getting walloped. And what we've been saying about Tobias Harris was that he was really soft going to the rim and had a whole bunch of bunnies and important moments. Paul George, he's getting to the rim. I don't think Paul George, he's really that, I think Paul George can accept physicality. It's just that he doesn't have any lift anymore. He's getting blocked left and right. Paul George, he's just a flat out a jump shooter at this point, and the catch and shoot shot, that is something that makes him really superior to Tobias Harris when he's clicking, though. I mean, Paul George, he's become a really streaky. He was a really streaky shooter in Philly so far. Injuries or whatever, him just being washed. He is a jump shooter at this point in his career. He is not going to be the defender that he was in Indiana or OKC. If he can still at least be above average, that's better than Tobias Harris, because Tobias, what was so frustrating about him was that the Sixers would almost have a successful defensive play, but right at the end, he'd be doubling someone for no reason, over helping, or just get blown by and collapse the defense, and they find a pass and the other team scores. Tobias Harris, he was so irritating on both ends of the floor. But just to be honest, man, and Paul George, though, yeah, he is a great catch and shoot player. But we kind of brought him here to be better than Tobias Harris, but he's still kind of, because Tobias, that's what he kind of had to do. He was a catch and shoot guy, given that you need the spacing next to Joel Embiid, and it still made no sense given that he was more of an interior player. So yeah, Paul George, I think he could still be better than Tobias Harris, but I don't think it's going to be by much.
Yeah. I still have to go back to that one preseason game that I watched before he hyperextended his knee. We only got one game of healthy Paul George, realistically. Throughout the season, he couldn't get off the ground. He was soft attacking the rim and everything. But that was after he hyperextended his left knee 2 different times, and he had a giant knee brace on and all these things. I feel the same way about Paul George that I do Joel Embiid. He's hurt. You know what I mean? There's no other way to explain what he looked like throughout the season. He wasn't healthy. He was trying. I actually commend, as much shit as I've talked on Paul George, I actually commend him last season going out there after hyperextending his knee, especially the way that he broke his leg back in 2012. And so it's a mental thing. And you could kind of tell, after he hyperextended that knee, he was timid mentally in attacking the rim and going hard. And I think that messed with him a little bit. I don't know if he goes into this season any more ready to attack the rim mentally. But that one preseason game before he hyperextended his knee, he looked great.
He did.
He looked great. And then boom, all shit hit the fan when he hyperextended his knee. And it's tough. I don't know. And then he has another surgery now to clean up some kind of swelling or whatever. I don't think that surgery was anything really to talk about, to be honest. I don't think it was a major surgery at all. Maybe it helped him. Maybe he looks better game 1 than he did at any point last season. Am I being optimistic right now?
A little bit. I wish to be optimistic too, because I'm a Sixers fan. I want to see my team win. And we have had so many just heartbreaking playoff exits. And I think enough is enough at this point. I mean, I'm leaving it. I'm not completely banking on the Sixers just having a another season where everyone just gets injured, because I think there's a sliver of hope. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like a 0% chance that it's completely over. I mean, you never know. Maybe they're just hiding. They're just trying to keep Embiid on the down low, Paul George on the down low. Maybe they might miss the first game or so. That's not gonna go well with the fan base, and will say a lot about setting the tone with the season. But, you know, there's still something inside of me, Eastwood, thinking that the Sixers, if they can just get it right, the Eastern Conference is weak. The Celtics are out. The Pacers are out. If this can somehow be that year where Embiid plays consistently, Paul George plays consistently, I think they have the roster. I mean, you have Maxey, who's an all-star level player. You got Jared McCain, a fantastic floor spacer. Justin Edwards, who had a great rookie season. A Dembona, who can be your backup center, or maybe Andre Drummond if he has a resurgence, and Quentin Grimes coming back too. I mean, you still have that elite 4-guard rotation, and you got some other nice pieces as well that sort of addresses the Sixers' issues when it comes to, I think, some more playmaking with Trendon Watford and how good he is as a passer, and Jabari Walker too. I mean, everyone forgot about him, but his main thing, rebounding the basketball. So the Sixers, they kind of got some more utility players too. I think the roster, if Embiid and Paul George can get right, it's not a bad roster, all things considered. It's just the health concern that is, it's become more apparent, and I think the chances of them reaching that level of health is slim, but I really hope that they can somehow get it together.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with that. I mean, when people say if healthy, I mean, yeah, if healthy, you know. So anytime somebody ranks them, you know, middle of the pack or bottom of the NBA or whatever, that's assuming that they're not healthy. Because if healthy, yeah, you know, they should be contenders if healthy. We just have a hard time believing that they are healthy. For
Eastwood, notice I did not say that phrase once during this live stream, because I promised myself, I challenged myself to not say it throughout the entire season. I'm gonna try and hold on to it. No, you're not gonna get me, not today. But Sixers, there's still something within me, man. I just really want them to compete in the Eastern Conference. It's just chances are slim.
You know what I'm disappointed about? I am disappointed that Josh Harris, with all of his, you know, assumed tax evasion and things like that, offshore accounts and things like that, tricks to get around shelling out as much money as he potentially is legally obligated to do. He's a smart businessman. He knows finance. I am disappointed that Josh Harris didn't beat Steve Ballmer at salary cap circumvention. How did they pull it off with Kawhi Leonard, and we go over here and give Paul George a 4-year, $212 million fully guaranteed max contract? We couldn't give him 3 years and invent some kind of fraudulent tree company and sign him, pay him the rest of the money under the table. The Sixers have no cap space at all because Josh Harris doesn't know how to circumvent the cap by money laundering.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if there was a situation where an NBA owner would set up like a heavily invest into a fake company to pay a player under the table, it would be the Sixers, given our history. It's just tampering, and the NBA loving to investigate us. But no, this time it is another team that is going under siege, and that Clippers situation is crazy, man. I mean, when you look more into it, because it was Kawhi Leonard's camp that was demanding to the Toronto Raptors owner that alongside his his new contract, they give him like an extra $50 million in endorsements and stuff. It's just really sketchy with how Kawhi, of course, yeah, he's from LA, would love to play in LA. At least that's what we thought. That was, his goal. He signed there for less money. The Raptors and the Lakers were giving him a bigger contract. Yet, I mean, now what's with the whole Pablo Torre report, it's going to be really interesting to see what the NBA does, because we know that way back when Joe Smith had that agreement with the Timberwolves, they really laid down the hammer, took away 5 of the Wolves' first-round picks. They gave back a couple of them, but still, like, that precedent is pretty insane, and it's going to be really fascinating to see what the Clippers do, or the NBA does to the Clippers.
Yeah, and Pablo Torre, man, you got some cojones on you, okay? Because you're messing with very rich people, all right?
Exactly.
Just listen, man. A month from now, all of a sudden, Pablo Torre is a missing person. I'm just saying, I'm just saying there's a reason he said all of it. Nobody else said all of it. You know, and he's like, I'll do it. I'll investigate it if nobody else is going to do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then Mark Cuban like responded, and then Mark Cuban went on Pablo Torre's show to talk about how he doesn't believe Steve Ballmer was involved in it or knew about it. And I felt like Mark Cuban was just defending NBA owners because Mark Cuban's probably done the same thing 100 times.
Probably. I mean, yeah, it's just I think a lot of other teams are doing it. I think some are just better than others. I mean, the one report it showed with like the where the money is owed, it literally showed Kawhi Leonard's company within the like aspiration report KL2. Like, yeah, it's I mean, there's nothing. I mean, the NBA, I think the most recent news we got in it was that they hired like a professional law firm to look into it, but there has not been an official, judgment from the NBA yet.
Yeah, the 76ers would have already been arrested by every.
They would have been relegated. They would have been kicked out of the NBA, playing like the EuroLeague or something.
Yeah, the NBA would have already banned the 76ers franchise for the rest of ever in the they would have been like, finally, there's a way we can get rid of this Philadelphia 76ers team. But the Clippers, they're like, I don't know. We'll let Steve Ballmer go on ESPN and talk to Ramona Shelburne and make up some excuses. And I don't even think anything's going to happen. I wouldn't be shocked if the only thing that happens is the Clippers lose their 2028 first round pick and it actually disappears and goes nowhere. And then the 76ers don't even have
They better not do that, man. I mean, because it's the Sixers, that looks like that would be a probable, because of course something always bad has to happen to the Sixers, even if it doesn't really directly involve them. Yeah, we do have their picks, which I mean, I wake up every morning and I'm saying to myself, the Sixers, they might not have a chance to win a championship, and we just got to accept that. But at least they have those Clippers picks. The Clippers, I don't really think they're going to be good in 2028. I mean, you can make the argument that Steve Ballmer, because he's the richest owner in all of sports and he loves to spend money on his team, that he's going to spend so much money that the Clippers aren't going to be bad enough to tank that hard. But, having money is one thing, but spending it is another. We'll see what happens. But, I mean, the Clippers, they're not going to be – I don't think with how their roster is right now, they have no really that good, like, young upcoming players. They have a bunch of veterans, kind of like the Sixers, like Kawhi Leonard, who isn't what he used to be. James Harden isn't what he used to be. They brought Bradley Beal and Chris Paul. I mean, they got like some good players like John Collins and Derrick Jones, but I know if the Clippers, with how old they are, if they're going to compete in the Western Conference, and I really hope that
they're the oldest. They're the oldest team in NBA history.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, by average age, yes. They're the oldest team in NBA history, yeah.
Jeez. And I think the Sixers, they fleeced the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers, they kind of got back at us for not paying Paul George, and they gave us the avenue to pay Paul George. But I mean, regardless, I think the fact that we got those two picks, those are assets that you can use to build towards the future, or you could trade them. And if Tyrese Maxey, McCain, and Edgecombe, if you want to compete right now, that's some good ammo to have to get some more serious talent.
All right, let me know what you think about this prediction, because I'm thinking about the timing of the 2028 unprotected Clippers pick. And then the 76ers have their own 2029 first round pick. They don't have their own 2028 first round pick, I don't think, or maybe they do. If they do they? I don't know.
Oh, I honestly, I'm not really that familiar with the Sixers.
Either way,
I don't think they have one for 27, because that was a part of the James Harden trade to the Nets.
I think they might have 2028. Let me see.
Oh, they have their own 2027 first round pick.
Do they have 2028?
No, it's just we have the Clippers unprotected in round 1, and then we have a pick via the Pistons for round 2, and a pick from the Warriors for round 2. I think that was from the Buddy Hield trade, the sign and trade.
So let me know what you think about this prediction, because 2028, we're going into the 2026 season, right? And then this upcoming draft after this season would be the 2026 NBA draft. So we're about 2.5 years away from the 2028 NBA draft. In those 2.5 years, the 76ers fire everybody, the coach, the GM, Elton Brand, finally, he's been just in back corner making coffee for 5 years anyway. They fire everybody. Josh Harris sells the team. The new owners and new GM trade Tyrese Maxey at
Whoa, that's a hot
25 years
take.
old because they want to go into absolute tank mode before they get to the 2028 draft. And Tyrese Maxey's going to be good enough. I know a lot of people say that he's not, but you can't tank with Tyrese Maxey. What he's going to do this upcoming season, people are underestimating. And then the next 3 years, Tyrese Maxey is going to be an absolute star. And I don't think you can tank successfully with Tyrese Maxey on your roster. So they fire everybody. They sell the team. The new ownership trades Tyrese Maxey. They do a complete tank, and they get the number 1 overall draft pick in 2028.
The Sixers. So, they don't have their own. Oh, yeah, they only have their Clippers pick. So, I think the 2028 pick, that was a part of the James Harden trade, and that belongs to the Nets. So if the Sixers suck that much, then the Nets will actually get that pick. But if the Clippers, if they flat out suck, then that'd be awesome if the Sixers can get a top pick, given the situation that you laid out. And trading Tyrese Maxey, man, that's going to be, because I think Tyrese Maxey, like the Sixers put as much trust in him as I think the Eagles put into Jalen Hurts. That's their guy to lead them for the next year. when he signed that contract, they had like that big ceremony with like giving him like the 01 black jersey and stuff, like Dr. J there. And like, I don't know if AI was there, but still, it seems like they're trying to hand Tyrese Maxey the keys, but they can't really do it from a basketball perspective because Joel Embiid is still there. And I think Philly fans love Tyrese Maxey and his attitude, his work ethic, his leadership style. Embiid said that, he likes to lead more, kind of like in the same way, Kevin Durant sometimes says that he admits himself that he's not really that much of a vocal leader, but same thing with Embiid. He said that like he kind of likes to lead more on the court. But the thing is, Embiid's never on the fucking court. So Tyrese Maxey, on the other hand, he's a guy who's playing alongside everyone else. He is expressive, he's vocal, and it seems like he's a great teammate. And it's awesome for Tyrese Maxey to be setting that culture with the way his work ethic has been for how long we have gotten to know him as Sixers fans and how he carries himself. I'm excited for that, especially when VJ Edgecombe and Jeremy Kane, they reciprocate that, man. They just want to be in the gym. They just want to get at it. They want to grind, and they want to beat teams. And hopefully the Sixers, they can get off the Embiid, Paul George contracts as soon as they can and build towards the future, because I want to see this new Sixers era really in full action with them as the focal point.
You would have to build around Tyrese Maxey, and to do that, you would have to give Tyrese Maxey another young star. And if VJ Edgecombe becomes that, then that's one thing. But Tyrese Maxey's turning 24, I think.
I think 25. Look that up. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that the Sixers you can win a championship with Tyrese Maxey, but you should at least try. Yeah, he's going to be turning 25. You got to at least try and build a good team with Tyrese Maxey and then compete.
Exactly, though. So 2.5 years from now, he's going to be 27, turning 28. It's not out of the realm of possibility that the 76ers at that point are dead in the water, and everybody will be talking about they need to trade Tyrese Maxey because he would be their only valuable asset, and he will be an NBA. A 28-year-old NBA star in the middle of his prime would get you the most return, and then they tank it out for 2028.
Right. That kind of makes the most sense.
Sucks to talk about. Hopefully that doesn't happen, by the way. But it could happen. The last thing here, well, maybe a couple things. Charles Bassey is still available. Did you know this?
Charles Bassey, man. That was from a while ago, man. Charles Bassey. I'm glad he escaped the clutches of Doc Rivers. I think I was high on him coming into the NBA with him getting drafted by the Sixers, just a big backup center with some, juice, some legs under him. I think he played a couple of years with the Spurs. He didn't really get much run, but he can't be worse than Gershon Yabusele was playing center.
Well, Charles Bassey is 6'10", 250. He showed promise as a backup center with the 76ers. He had a great couple of games defending Giannis Antetokounmpo, defending Nikola Jokic. He had a something like 10 rebounds and 6 blocks against the Nuggets in November a couple of years ago. And we were like, you need to play Charles Bassey. And Doc Rivers was like, who's that? Give me some wash guy instead. The 76ers released him alongside Isaiah Joe, right? The Oklahoma City Thunder signed Isaiah Joe for free, basically. The Spurs signed Charles Bassey. He then becomes the first player in NBA history with 10 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks off the bench in an NBA game. And the Spurs signed him to a 4-year guaranteed contract. So I'm sitting here talking trash on the Sixers like the Spurs found a diamond in the rough that the Sixers didn't want. And now he's not even in the NBA. So maybe Doc Rivers was right the whole time. Or maybe everyone's still sleeping on Charles Bassey and the 76ers need to sign him. He is 24 years old, by the way. 6'10", 250, can defend, has a little bit of an offensive game, and is 24 years old.
Man, I thought he'd be like 26. I mean, I guess we really got him when he was young. What? It was like the 2022 NBA draft. I mean, yeah, Isaiah Joe, that was ridiculous. I mean, the Sixers have always needed floor spacing, and that's his bread and butter. That is shooting the basketball. That was ridiculous. Yeah, I saw more in Isaiah Joe than I did Charles Bassey, and it's just so reflective of Doc Rivers. I mean, Nick Nurse, if there's one thing, Doc Rivers, he loves to argue with like the media more, and like, even if that's at the expense of throwing shade at his players, like going to like saying we're not going on a Paul Reed victory tour. Like, what coach says that? That's ridiculous, man. Just let go of your ego. Nick Nurse, he doesn't really do it.
I think Charles Bassey is better than Andre Drummond right now.
It's not really a hot bar.
I seriously do. If Joel Embiid's not going to play game 1 and you don't want to play a Dembona, give me Charles Bassey.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not like Montrezl Harrell, Dwayne Dedmon, anything at this point. I mean, we got a Dembona. I am excited for a Dembona. He just loves dunking. The Sixers, they have not had enough players who just dunk the basketball. That's really cool about having a VJ Edgecombe too. I mean, that'd be really cool if the Sixers, they could find a player, maybe Maxey McCain, they really develop a some pick and roll skills to throw lobs, and that would be a treat for sure.
Hey, listen, man, this was fun. Thanks for coming through again, NZ. We're live on both channels. Go subscribe to NZ for 3 on YouTube if you're not subscribed already. Give us the likes. Hit the like button. Everybody watching right now, hit the like button for us. The last thing is the 76ers training camp is in New Jersey, so they're not trying to do some fancy. They were in the Bahamas last year, which maybe that's why their season was terrible, because they started the season on vacation in the Bahamas. You know what I mean? They're like, no games this time. We're not going on vacation. We're not hanging out at Buddy Hield's house. We're going to New Jersey to the practice facility and get training camp. So maybe we have a much more serious start this year. That's all I got, man. You got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, being negative all the time eventually just gets super boring, especially when the Sixers, they sort of have somewhat of a future. You know what I mean? I always think there are other teams like the Phoenix Suns. It is just void of any happiness over there, given what they have done, especially because since they made the finals a couple years ago. Yeah, the 76ers, they have 2 of the worst contracts in the league. They have a coach that just does not like to play young players. You try to get away from Doc Rivers, but you got Doc Rivers 2.0. Paul George, he just seems like he cares more about podcasting than playing basketball. He only has 1 foot out the door. Embiid, we have not gotten any updates on him in that situation. We don't know. We just have no idea. And the more it gets prolonged, I think the worse Sixers fans are going to feel, and right out the gate, how disinterested they're going to be. Yeah, my goal for this season is I'm going to just enjoy VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and Jared McCain, and especially McCain and Edgecombe in their development, because Jared McCain, he impressed me so much, man, last season. He was really like the shining beacon of hope for the Sixers. He was going on a great run, having great shooting performances, and looked like a legit NBA player as a rookie. And he's like, 19, 20, like 2 as well. So he's got plenty of time to grow. I mean, he was better than Tyrese Maxey was as a rookie. And it didn't really take that long for Maxey to become an effective NBA player. I mean, I think the sky's the limit, for Jared McCain, especially with his work ethic as well. Got VJ Edgecombe too. It's the Sixers are kind of bipolar, but I'm trying to look at the bright side. You got these great young players. You got Justin Edwards, a Dembona too. Just kind of get off. I just want them to finish this era as soon as possible. It's going to be a process for sure, no pun intended. But VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, those are the 3 players I'm looking for next season.
Hey, it's kind of nice to go into a season with no expectations.
Oh yeah, that too.
I agree with that. I agree with that. All right, man. Thanks for coming through. We'll do this again soon. Training camp is on October 1st.
Yep.
And the first preseason game, I think, is the next day, October 2nd.
Yeah, against the Knicks in Abu Dhabi.
In Abu Dhabi. I don't know where that is, but shout out to Abu Dhabi. We out.
Peace.